Hey there everyone, this is Michael Dougal with eXp Realty, and during this video today I'm going to help you better understand where our market is right now and where the opportunities are, whether you are a buyer or a seller. We're going to go over a lot of data and we're going to study some of the trends that have been happening here in the marketplace. And if you are new to the channel, then consider subscribing. Of course, be sure to follow me over on Instagram as well, because on Instagram I'm posting a lot of off-market properties, I'm posting opportunities, and I'm also posting training content for real estate agents out there that are ambitious like myself. Right now, what we're experiencing in the marketplace is a little bit of a slowdown, but I want to assure you that the market is still very strong. Prices are up by at least 10% for all home styles if you look at the marketplace now versus 12 months ago. But what so was that we saw the prices really peak come February time and then a slight drop off since then. And let's jump into this very first chart over here where we can see the historic statistics directly from the Toronto Real Estate Board. And what we're looking at is the average price. This is across all home styles, so that's something you definitely want to keep in mind. We're not just looking at detached homes or condos. And one of the great things about this data over here, we can see the year, we can see the number of sales and the average sale price. We can see that it was increasing in most cases. And what I wanted to point out over here were three specific periods. The first period would be 1989. We can see here that the average price was at $273,000. And if you look at the following years, the prices decreased, and it wasn't until 2002 that the average price had actually recovered. Now, following that, there was rapid appreciation. And then what happened in 2008, of course, there was the huge U.S. recession. A lot of people, unfortunately, lost their homes, and the average price in the U.S. drastically dropped. However, we can see here in the marketplace that there was not much of a change. In fact, the average price did go up by $3,000. However, the number of sales did drop from the previous year. It was only at $74,000. Unfortunately, through being a second-generation realtor, I asked both my parents what the market was like in 2008, 2009, because they were actively selling at that time, and what they had said was that the number of days on market had really increased to the point that they would list a property, they were getting very few calls, but we can see here the average price didn't change too much. And then, of course, the last change I want to point your attention to is in 2017. For all of you that were active like myself, wow, what a market. I had over 10 active listings at the time, and I remember that the market pretty much overnight just stopped. Purchasers who had made offers, they prayed that there was a cooling off period on resale listings, but there wasn't, so they wanted to back out of the deals. Some of the deals purchasers did actually back away from, and that would often result in them losing their deposit check, and sometimes even created like a domino effect, because if somebody buys a property and that purchaser decides to not proceed with it, what if the seller of that property has purchased something else? And we actually saw this, and really bad things happened, and the average price did significantly drop. In 2017, it was April, and then we can see here looking at the data that it took until 2020 for the market to really recover. And 2018 was just a very interesting year because we were experiencing, of course, the depreciation from 2017. Along with that, investors weren't comfortable purchasing because they weren't expecting appreciation, so we didn't have many sellers, we didn't have many buyers, and we could look here at the number. It was only 78,000 sales, and honestly, I remember being an agent in 2018. I did not want to work every single day. I sort of had to force myself through because, of course, my customers deserve excellent service and there were opportunities there. But then we saw the number of sales really increase in 2019, 2020, and then 2021. And then we saw our average price being at $1,095,000 in 2021. Right now, our average price sits at $1,299,000. It's not displayed here in the chart because the chart usually takes the numbers at the year end. Of course, we're not at the end of the year 2022 just yet, and I hope this does help to give you some clarity as far as where our market is, what we can expect for the future, and hope you have some confidence knowing that you can purchase real estate and then hold, because all things being considered, properties have only increased in value regardless of the home style, regardless of the area. And let's jump into this very next chart over here where we can actually see the breakdown of the different areas of the Greater Toronto area and just how much they have appreciated. Note that this is taking into consideration detached homes, and we're looking at February 2020 up to February 2022. And the reason I took February 2020 was because that was right before the pandemic hit, right before COVID, of course, and we saw very strange things happen with the marketplace in March, April, and then May, and then June, July, August, we saw the market come back up. So what so is here, we can see Peel region, Toronto, York region, Halton, Durham, Simcoe County, and Dufferin County. The first thing which some of you may find surprising is how little appreciation was experienced in Toronto, Toronto West, Toronto Centre, and Toronto East. We're looking at 38%, 37%, and 48.8%. And one of the major things that drove the acceleration of the other areas is, if you remember back in 2020 and even early 2021, a lot of people started to work remotely and figured that they did not necessarily need to be at their Toronto office. So we saw a lot of people move out to the suburbs. They moved up north. We saw a lot of movement to Oshawa, to Bowmanville, the East End. So they really experienced like rapid appreciation. But if we look at Peel region, we can see Brampton up by 66%, Caledon 95%, Mississauga 55.7%. And that was the same case over in Halton region, a similar amount of appreciation. In York region though, however, we saw specific price ranges really appreciate. Like for King City, we can see the luxury homes, they really increased in value by 141.5%, now with our average price at $3,359,000. And some of the areas where there is more turnover, like Markham, like Newmarket, Richmond Hill, Vaughan, we saw appreciation similar to what it was in Peel region. But if we take a look at Durham region, as I'm sure a lot of you know, the prices have really accelerated. They've really appreciated. It's very competitive. We're often bidding on properties in Oshawa and Pickering, and we're in bidding wars like with 10 to 20, even sometimes 30 offers. It's incredible how much demand there is out there, which does make sense though, because it's still within a driving distance of Toronto. So we saw Brock experience 130% appreciation, and we can see here Oshawa 94.7%. Simcoe County, pretty healthy appreciation. Dufferin County, same thing. And if you'd like to know about my market predictions in detail, then I would recommend you watch this video over here. And now we're going to talk about opportunities. So if you are a seller, where are the opportunities? And I think for sellers right now, the opportunities are going to be for any of the move-up purchasers. So if you're somebody, perhaps you're coming from a condo to a townhouse or a semi-detached or even a detached, or you're coming from like a smaller detached over to a higher price point detached home, then this is the market where you really want to capitalize. And the reason for that is because what we've seen lately is we've seen a slight depreciation over the past few months with the luxury listings. However, with our average listing, like for most areas, that's going to be a listing between 1 million to 1.4 million. Homes are selling above the asking price. It's very competitive. So if you're a move-up buyer, you're able to purchase one of these more expensive properties, and at the same time, you finally have supply. So you've got some selection. You don't have to have the anxiety of selling your home and worrying about the lack of inventory. Because if you're going to purchase an expensive property or stretch somewhat outside of your budget, you want to make sure that it's worth it. I'm expecting that you would stay there for a considerable amount of time in comparison to being a first-time buyer, let's say. Now, does it make sense to downsize in this market? And I would say no, unless you're going from a house to a condo. Because if you're going to a condo, fortunately, there is some supply, and the condos are not selling for as much as they were prior, and the days on market is a little bit higher, so you can have that comfort and make that purchase. For you homeowners who are considering going from like one freehold property to the next and you're downsizing that way, then I would recommend you be a bit patient, but trust that I will let you know when the right time is. That's why, of course, you should subscribe to this channel if you got value from this video. And if you are considering selling, then call me, because my customers get excellent service. And if you are an ambitious real estate agent looking to learn about what eXp Realty can do for your business, then definitely reach out to me. My contact information is in the description box below, and feel free to book a link on my Calendly to set up a one-on-one chat. We can do so over on phone or on Zoom. I would absolutely love to meet you. And of course, be sure to follow me on Instagram if you want to learn more about off-market properties. You want some training, I put out training content there for realtors as well. And I will look forward to seeing you all next time.